Well, I'll give a little
Okay.
introduction to
Yep.
everybody. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining OMSA's Mobility Monday. Sorry for the little delay for those of you who are joining live, but we're excited to be here. With us today, we have Marco Trujillo.
Yep.
Oh, close
True.
enough. Okay, sorry about that. He is an award-winning inventor and entrepreneur recognized by MIT Innovators Under 35. With over a decade of experience in robotics and assistive technology, he has developed 7 AT devices, including the groundbreaking Sunu Band, the first electronic travel aid connected to a smartphone. And now he leads the introduction of NOA, the first AI-powered ETA assistant, continuing his mission of engineering new horizons for inclusion. So thank you, Marco, for joining us today and sharing about NOAA.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for having me again and for the introduction. Yeah, like you said, I've been in this field of assistive technology for quite a while now, over 10 years. It's been a passion for me, the assistive technology field in general, but I stumbled upon the mobility challenge early on, and that was one of the challenge that caught my attention the most and where I felt that a lot of innovation was needed. Um, So I'm happy to share everything that I've been doing recently with Biped AI, which is a Swiss company based in Lausanne. We've been working solutions for mobility since 2016, trying different prototypes. But of course, it starts off by understanding well what the problem is, which mobility challenge for mobility is not an easy one. It's quite complex in the sense that there's many elements to it. You have first identifying signing objects, which for most people is hard unless they have like good cane skills to detect them. But still, the range is close, so you almost need to bump into them to find them. And then you have moving objects, people, scooters, pets that are hard to track, especially if they're moving fast. And then you have all those transitions in between to get to a destination, which we call the last yard hurdles. So like finding the door entrance, finding the bus stop, getting into the right bus, finding the seat in the bus, and many more, right? Like which the challenge with those all these transitions are that most of them rely like 90% on sight. So it's very hard to interact with outside for this. So that's why we've been working in a tool that can um, solve or provide a solution to all the mix of problems that blind mobility requires. So we've been studying orientation mobility for a while as well. Since like while we've been working with O&M instructors in order to make sure that we are providing the right solutions to our users through technologies. We found that yeah, I mean in at least in Europe, like in average, O&Ms tend to spend or invest about 30 hours of base-wide cane training to to teach like the fundamental aspects of training, passive location, and many other skills. Then 2 to 6 hours of training for every new route, at least for the most used by the student. Um, so we interview several of our early users, over 250 beta testers, to try to understand what are the most significant challenge regarding all of this. We found that, well, sometimes GPS systems are not precise, so they don't always know when to turn. They don't know if the path is completely safe, or like, let's say, like cane accessible. Um, yeah, because sometimes there's like low hanging tree branches or on other kinds of obstacles that are not easy to pick up with the cane or not possible to pick up with the cane or the guide dog. Um, and all the transitions that I mentioned, the last year hurdles, right? Like how do I find the entrance of the building, the elevator, the stairs, and all in between. So NOAA, which is the device that I'm with me right here, it's an um it's an all-in-one mobility device. It's a vest that rests on your shoulders. Um, it almost feels like a backpack, because it has like a back case with the batteries, then a couple straps that go over your shoulders, and then in the left side you have a set of three cameras that give you 170 degrees field of view from ground to head and even below ground. Um, in on the right side you have the computer case with 10 buttons in total, a set of buttons to trigger all the functions or features, another set of buttons to interact with the features like skip, rewind, select, and then a main button which you use to turn on or off and on the device or pause or resume the ongoing feature. Um, so NOA stands for navigation, obstacles, and AI, which are the three core features of the product. Um, we pick up these three features because that's pretty much what includes all the mobility challenges that we mentioned in the past, the ability to detect obstacles, whether they're moving, whether they're static, uh, the need for getting to a destination, orient ourselves constantly, which could be for the most part through GPS outdoors or indoors. There's many options, and we can integrate with either beacons or others or similar applications like I just forgot forgot the name of them, but they seem like QR codes. Um, and then we
Javelin.
have yeah, Netherlands, yes, yeah. We can also integrate with those and um, with artificial intelligence, which is helpful to find all those things like crosswalks, reading text, finding the stop buses, the open seats, and all those the vision assistance required for mobility. Um, so let me see if I can share a video. Let's see. Oh, wait a second. I just okay. Well, I couldn't, but anyway. So one important aspect of our product, and I think it's, let's say there's maybe three core things about it, but one is that we designed it to be the ultimate complement for guide dogs at biking. But there's many other devices, and there has been many devices out there that either claim to be a replacement for a cane or a dog, um, or don't claim to be replacement, but they don't really are designed to complement the existing primary aids that the user use. So we're taking a completely opposite approach here. We want to make sure that our device is perfectly complementary to the different types of users. For the most part, cane users and guide dog users, but we also support some special cases like wheelchair users, people in strollers, people with a hard of hearing, and many more. Not all of them. We wish we could cover all sorts of mixes of disabilities and people needs and tastes, but it's complicated. But at least when it comes to orientation and mobility, we make sure that it complements the cane and the guide dog very well. Um, and again, our device, think of it as an integration of having a GPS system plus an obstacle detector plus an AI glasses or something of that sort. Um, which so it's basically like three devices in one, but optimized for mobility and with an integrated experience. So it's completely different to have these three separate devices trying to and use them on the go than just having one that is designed to come to integrate all the different aspects of mobility in a seamless experience. Um, so okay, here's the video I was looking for. I just need to see if I can share the audio. How many participants? Let me, um, one participant. Okay, I don't know if I can do you hear anything? No, right? Are you hearing the video? No?
No, we can't hear the audio, but sometimes if you want to stop sharing and then reshare and then make sure you select the include audio.
So that's in the more share computer sound stereo. Okay, here we go. I think I found it. Let's
Okay.
see.
That's Arthur. He's
Oh,
walking in
there
an
we go.
open area. Biped detects an obstacle. That's a pedestrian standing on his right. The obstacle was detected by Biped before the cane even touched it. Thanks to 3D sounds, Arthur knows that the obstacle is slightly to his right, and he continues on his way by taking a step to the left. Biped's AI is called Copilot. It understands in real time what's happening around the user with a massive field of view of 170 degrees. The AI can then identify where an obstacle is located, whether the obstacle is a pedestrian or a car, and most importantly, if the obstacle has a risk of collision with the path that the user is taking. We worked with a research institute from Honda after getting inspiration from self-driving cars technology. So if that pedestrian who was blocking the way starts to walk faster than you, they will not be detected as an obstacle, as your trajectories have no risk of collision. As Arthur continues on his way, he hears a GPS instruction.
Turn right at 2 o'clock.
Arthur then turns right, and a few meters further, hears a confirmation.
Continue straight.
There seem to be a couple of obstacles ahead. The lower pitched sounds indicate to Arthur that there is a risk of collision with an obstacle located below waist level. For more details, Arthur presses the AI button located on the right side of the harness. Our AI reacts after a few seconds and indicates the following.
You're facing small posts, which separate you from a parking area. A car is parked about 4 meters ahead on your left. The footpath appears to continue on your right and then makes a sharp left turn along the side of the building.
Arthur resumes his path, finds a sidewalk, and after following the wall, identifies a hole on his right. Biped then provides the next GPS instruction.
Turn right at 2 o'clock.
Upon arriving at his destination, Arthur hears,
Your destination is on your right.
and by pressing the AI button again, he gets an even more precise description to find the building's entrance.
You're facing the Alanine Corniche 5 building. The path in front of you is clear, and it seems that the entrance to the building is located opposite, under a courtyard about 10 meters away.
We're now
Really good experience. It recognizes obstacles around you, and I walked with it without my cane.
Twice, and I must say I'm really impressed. I think this is going to be the game changer.
Oh, that's a Stevie Wonder, but I think it's not audio hearable what he said. Well, this is just a few of people that has tried the device. We've been selling this product in Europe for over a couple years, nearly 3 years now, and we just recently introduced to the US last year, maybe around half a year so far. So we've tested with a lot of kinds of users. We are, I like to say, like a very user-centric um, company. So King users, guide dog users, O&Ms, seniors, child,
At this moment, I'm really interested in Dr. Okay.
different types of. This was a demo at the Vista Center um, in California. These are kids I found in Louisiana Association for the Blind, also NFV. We were all over the place trying to make sure that our device works in different scenarios, different weather conditions, different kinds of users. Um, this is more users. This Gustavo from New York. He recently joined as an ambassador. He's helping us provide demos, share his device, share his experience with the community who wants to know more about how he's living with NOA as an extension tool for your cane. He lives in New York, and he has been using NOA for over a year. Seniors as well. The device itself can be calibrated to different kind of needs. So first of all, you can calibrate to the height of the user. That you have to select the primary aid that they use, whether it's a cane or a guide dog. The device detects the length of the cane. You can set up the range at which you want the alerts of the obstacle to trigger. You can customize whether you want to get information only of head level obstacles or waist up or full body protection. And you can also decide as an O&M if you want to have like a narrow lateral detection or wide, which also depends on the scenario you're in. Um, so why not? Well, like I said, it is a complementary aid, first of all. Um, it's designed to complement perfectly, and it's not only the way the device is designed, we also have training guides for teaching someone who has a guide dog how to use this integrated to a guide dog, or if someone has a cane, we have guides specifically for cane users. We also have like cheat sheets, so this is like very single pager information so you can grab into a training sessions to look at like what the buttons do and the first exercises and some at the end like all the skills that should be trained during the lesson so you can check them up by the end of the training session. Um, Another thing I didn't mention, but it's also something interesting, are the technology that we are using is that this device is the first electronic travel aid that is being using cameras and AI to provide obstacle detection and general mobility to the user. So never in the past cameras have been used for obstacle avoidance or obstacle detection. If you look at all the previous technology, all of them were sensors, whether that's LiDAR, sonar, radar, laser, um, which are great because they are effective at assessing proximity to things, efficient, but the biggest issue is that they are blind themselves in the sense that they can't understand what the obstacle is. They just can't tell there's something there and how far it is, but that's about it. In cameras, on the other hand, are hard to deal with. There's a lot of computing required to make to extract information out of the cameras, but once you do it effectively, they can provide a lot more information to the user, which is what we're doing with our device. And we use different sets of AIs. We use AI that works in real time on the device to detect obstacles in real time. But there's also another layer that works in the cloud, which will use the large language models like Gemini and OpenAI. In fact, we use the two of them um, to describe the surroundings to the user. So they don't work in real time because it basically takes a picture of the three cameras, send it to the server, then come back with a description of the surroundings. Or if the user wants to find something particular, it comes back and tell you where the door is, where the open seat is, where the grassy area for your guide dog is. There's a lot of things you can search through the buttons. Um, but it's not real time, but it takes right now it takes somewhere around 3 seconds to 5 seconds. So it's getting faster and faster and faster. Last year, the beginning of last year, it was over 10 seconds. So just today being below 5 seconds, that's it's almost real time. It almost feels real time. Um, and let's go to the this is what our users say. They feel safer. That we recently made a study, and I think it's in this presentation, where they claim the level of stress was significantly reduced. So when blind people are walking, it's the lack of information that makes them to feel anxious. The fact that they have something, they know where things are, they know when things are approaching. They feel, that level of anxiety is reduced. Um, they tend to become more active, try to go out for simple walks, trying to go out to just find new place like a new park or which is awesome. Like I really think that's one of the phenomenal aspects of it. Like it's making people feel comfortable enough to try new things, which I think is hard. It's hard for people to try these things in many cases. Um, so I'll go very quick into the different features of the device. I mentioned here you have three three pairs of buttons. The top pair are dedicated for navigation features. The middle pair for, and that's where the N comes from. Then the middle pair for obstacle detection features. That's where the O comes from. And then the bottom pair for AI features. That's where the A comes from. So reading NOA and OA from top to bottom. So it's very easy to identify. If you want to trigger a navigation feature, you just think to click one of the two buttons that are on top, obstacles for the middle, and AI at the bottom. So for navigation features, um, you can basically store up to 5 different destinations in the device. Um, like let's say the office, the school, your home, the church. So you can use the buttons to go through the list of destinations, then click the select button and you'll start navigation to any of these places. Alternatively, you can also set an address from the phone if you want to go to a particular address. Um, the way we provide instructions, it's I would say that GPS experience is similar to other GPS experience like using Google Maps, but it provides a slightly more information. It will give you preparation and notifications like prepare to turn left when you are getting closer to the corner, for example. Um, and then it will use a clockwise system to tell you where to turn. So turn at 3 o'clock, turn left at 10 o'clock, or turn right at 1 o'clock, for example. It will provide additional routes if you go in the block in the wrong direction. There's rerouting like any other GPS. Uh, and yeah, access the favorite destinations on the bottom, which is quite handy because you don't need again to take your phone out. Just click, go through the list of okay, home, and then go. The obstacle detection, well, as I mentioned, we have 3 cameras. These cameras are depth perception cameras, which means that they're slightly different to regular cameras. These cameras are emitting infrared light, so they're lighting up the environment, which means they will work even under low light conditions, like during nights. And then it's detecting the reflection of that light and the penetration of that light in the space. So they're very precise at detecting or estimating proximity to things. They can detect anything from the ground up to your head and to your sides and in front of you, so 170 degrees field of view. They're basically covering you from all the angles. Um, the way it works is again designed to complement the canes and the guide dogs. So, for example, cane users will get more beeps. And just one step back, the way the information is conveyed is through the headphones. The NOA comes with a bone conduction headphones from Shocks. Um, that's the one we recommend because they have this nice open ear experience. So the headphones are not covering your ears. You can still hear your surroundings perfectly, and kind of like in the back of your head, hear the beeps and all the description and all the information that is voiced to the user on the go. Um, so with the beeps, what you can hear different kinds of beeps. They have a 3D effect, so you can hear them on the right or on the left or in the precise location where the obstacle is located. If the beeps is faster, that means the obstacle is getting closer or is coming fast at you. Um, if the beeps are high pitch, it means the obstacle is high, like a tree branch, for example. If it's low pitch, it's low obstacles, like a trash can. And if it's even lower pitch, then it's more like an underground, like a hole or a staircase going down. for example. So as you walk, you're hearing these beeps only when there's a risk of collision, like the video explained. So it's a lot less beeps that you would get from ordinary electronic travel aids. Um, and the way it works, for example, for keen users is that you get more beeps. The lateral detection is wider, so you will hear when someone is coming to your sides. In overall, it's like you'll hear more stuff because people who are walking with cane need a little bit more information, which is nice because they can anticipate the information before the cane touches. So you will see people walking more fluently with less touching less with the cane, everything they do, short lining with the beeps instead of the cane, um, anticipating obstacles in advance. And for guide dog users, because guide dog users don't really have a hard time going around obstacles, the beeps are a lot less um, in quantity, and they're mostly focused on the front side, to try to tell the user if there's something happening from before the dog takes action. So users can be walking fast. Most guide dog users do, but not all of them do it. But they can be walking fast. They can hear the beeps before the dog takes action and anticipate the dog may stop, may veer, um, which is nice because now they have that expectation. And if the dog does something, they will trust the dog immediately, and kind of improve their relationship or the trust in the primary aid. Um, and another important factor about these beeps is that we don't guide the user continuously. We only tell them, okay, there's an obstacle here. There's something coming fast towards you from the right. There's a hole, there's a tree branch, and so forth. But we never guide the person. We provide just the information and let them use their own skills to move around and take their own decisions. This is some visuals of what the AI is looking. On the left side, you have the depth perception cameras. On the right side, you have the regular grayscale cameras. So on the right side, it's more like the regular cameras you will see, but the depth perception cameras are a bit weird, because they just detect dots in the space, basically. And then we use algorithms in real time to enclose all these points in the space and tell, okay, that's an upper obstacle. This is a person walking. We can track their trajectories, predict where they are going to be in the future, and assess if there's going to be a risk of collision. And now on the AI features, there's basically two ways to use the AIs. So like I said, we have the depth perception cameras. We also have regular cameras, which are capturing a lot of information when the user triggers a button. So you can use the buttons to trigger a description of your surroundings, like a general description, and it can be long or short, or to find an object in the scene. So you can look for example, a door, crosswalk, text, seats, grassy areas for dogs, staircases, bus stops, and many more. So you go through the list, click, and then the system will take a snapshot of the three cameras and the server process it via OpenAI and Gemini, which are the largest providers of LLM models right now. And then whichever response go faster will come back to your device, and you'll get a description of where is the door that you're looking for, and it will say something like, it's you're in a room, um, and the door is located to your left, at um 11 o'clock, about 10 feet away. So it's telling you the location, it's telling you the approximate distance to it based on your reference point, and it will indicate or highlight other aspects of the place or the scenario you're in case they're relevant for you to get there. So like there's a person blocking the way, or you might need to go around a bench, for example. No? Again, it will tell you where things are, highlight stuff that's relevant, but don't guide you. Again, it just that's when you grab your king, then you find that bench, you go around it, and get to the door, for example. And then the scene description, which you can trigger the long one by pressing the main button 2 times. This one, it's a lengthier description. It will describe from left to right everything that's relevant for mobility. Something I have to say, for example, and for those of you who have experience with AI and the descriptions they can provide, well, they are amazing. It's impressive how AI can become even better and better at describing things. But the available options out there, like glasses that use AI and so forth, they're descriptive, but not really effective for mobility purposes. One, because they lack the depth perception, so it's hard for these devices to assess how far things are. Two, because most of them, whether they're glasses or handhelds, or they have to be pointed in the right direction. So that's another difficult aspect. If you're not pointing in the right direction, then you won't get the feedback you're looking for. Um, so with this device, one and three, the description is not prompt in a way that is useful for mobility. So it will go, it will keep describing things. Okay, there's a man wearing this coat, is has a hat, a red hat, and is is of this or that fashion. Our device is specifically focused on providing useful information for mobility. So we'll skip lengthy descriptions about things. We'll just focus, okay, you are in a large room, the room is like this, has this layout, there's this and these points of interest, and they are located approximately at this distance to this, slightly to your right, the door is slightly to your right, to your left. So the description in general is more useful for mobility purposes, straight to the point. So it may lack like this flashy aspect, this descriptive aspect of things, in case you're looking for something more general, like it's a shiny day, there's um like birds in the sky flying, all of that. It will skip all of that and just tell you what's relevant for your mobility. And for O&Ms, well, for the mobility aspect, I was mentioning that when you onboard with a device, um, you can select which mode are you going to be using it for, whether it's white cane, guide dog, or no help, or no aids, which some users sometimes don't use the white cane or the guide dog because maybe they're in the office, they feel comfortable without moving with it. So they can also select that option in those cases. That said, like, we don't recommend to use this without a primary aid. We allow it because that's how users they do at the end what they want to do. And we support that, but I mean, this tool is really designed for people who already have some O&Ms skills, and they're using a primary aid. Then we have this companion app. This is an app designed for the companion, for the trainer. So it has 3 screens. We actually just renovated the design, but this will give you an idea of what it does and how it can be useful. So this companion app is basically making visible what the user is hearing. So the user is hearing the beeps, but then you have a screen that shows the user position, the obstacles detected around the users, and in red, you will see the obstacles that are being alerted to the user or notified to the user because they're getting with a close range. Then you have the GPS route in the second screen. So you can see where the user is in the middle of his route, what's the next instruction that is being voiced to him by reading the text behind it. Um, And then there's another screen which is not visible here that shows the descriptions in case they trigger the scene description, the description that is sent to the user. Besides from this companion app, we also have an in-app onboarding. So there's 11 lessons in the app that you need to pass, which basically simulates different use cases, the different features, so the user understand how the device works even before they put it on. And you need to pass all these lessons by solving 1 to 3 questions per lesson to make sure you understand how the device works and then unlock the device to be used for the first time. So we have for the onboarding, we also have a PDF with all the detailed instructions on how to use the device. So for people who want to use it by themselves, they have this option in case they want to go more technical and dig deeper into how to fine tune the device, what the specific aspects they have. Let's see what's there. Okay. Wait, I think I pulled the wrong one. Check deletion. Yeah, I was trying to find another. Yeah, but I think it's not here, unfortunately. I pulled it wrong. But besides from this manual for users, we also have our version of the Red Book, which is it's available now. It's basically a comprehensive instruction manual with methods and exercises on how to train someone with NOA. And we have a separate section for guide dog users and another section for cane users. So you can focus, depending on the user, focus on just one section or the other of the book. It is about 60 pages long. And we recently got approved as well to provide training for OMs with ACVREP certification. So we soon are going to start a series of webinars that will train O&Ms remotely and how to use this device and potentially request like a loaner or demo for one of our partners that are nearby. Fortunately, I didn't have that in here. Let's see. But yeah, some of the things we're working and we expect to have released at some point. We have used them just in Europe with a few clients. We have the possibility of mapping buildings, so provide accessibility to like a campus, like a workspace, or university campus. So people can get from one room to another using something similar to GPS instructions, or the possibility of creating routes. If you want specific routes for certain places, or for the user, we have now basically like a website in which the O&M can draft routes that can be used by the user, and at the same time mark like danger zones if in case there's some places where you want to the trainees to be out of. But that's basically it. Happy to solve you any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Marco. This is Leslie. I fortunately got to test it out just a little bit while you were on the Leader Dog campus, which was very cool. And I know you did kind of a full day with a lot of the other team members, but does anybody here have any questions? We've got just a few more minutes if anybody wants to ask anything to Marco. I've got a question. Does it provide haptic feedback?
Good question. Unfortunately, the device doesn't provide any haptic feedback right now. So it's all sound. So the only thing we can do for people who have a difficulty hearing, like the 3D audio effect, What we do is we play different tones from left and right, and then it's simpler for them to know where the obstacle is coming from. We also have different types of beeps. Well, two types. We have beeps that were shown in the video, and we have clicks, which sound more like tongue clicks, the ones that people who do active echolocation. They're nice. I love them. That's probably my preferred kind of feedback because it's I don't know, it's very precise for some reason. It's kind of easy to understand where it comes from. Probably the difficulty is to understand how high pitch or low pitch it is, but you can tell that as well. And then for people who are wearing hearing aids, the device can also pair to those hearing aids instead of the shocks headphones, as long as they're Bluetooth.
Thank you. Any other questions? You're welcome to unmute or pop a question into the chat. I know one question everybody wants to know usually is the expense. What is the cost associated to
All
the
right.
device?
Yeah, so this device is about nearly $5,000 or $4,990. It comes with a 2-year warranty. There's no subscription required. Like all the features that I mentioned are available, and all the updates that will come up in the future are also available for free. When the device comes, um, I mean, when you order the device, you get this device, you get a couple batteries, and you get a backpack to carry the device with the batteries. You get the headset, the bone conductor headset, and the charger, which is like a magnetic um, dock station, so you can dock the batteries quite easily. It doesn't have any polarity, so as lot as you just put it in short range and it will make the click automatically. And then the brick to charge, like the power adapter to provide the charge.
And how many people in the US right now are actively using the NOA?
So in the US there's a few because we just recently brought it here. It's might be near the 20
Okay.
users maybe. In Europe it should be around somewhere around 150 users.
Do you
Um,
anticipate selling quite a few in the US this year?
yes, yes, we expect though, because one of the things we're waiting for a little bit is because it's not a very cheap device. As you've seen, it's quite an investment.
Mhm.
Um, so it's somehow hard for most people to afford it. So what we're doing is trying to get this approved by financing schemes like the VA, the Veterans for Administration. We're also in conversations with vocational rehab in several states. Um, so yeah, we're basically looking for means to also fund this device to for our users.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, it's 5,000. I just looking at the chat. Um, yeah, it's 5,000. So quick open questions to everyone. Would you be interested in participating in the webinars for learning how to use NOA in the future, in the near future, let's say? Um, the idea of these webinars, they will come in a series it's going to be 3 different levels. They're all ACVR EP approved, so they're going to provide continuous education. And well, it's an opportunity to learn more about the device and potentially request a loaner or demo to try with your clients. So I guess 2 questions is, one, do you think this device could be useful for any of your clients? And 2, will you be interested in participating in the webinars? Okay, we have Sabrina.
Just said yes.
Yes,
I think to the
exclamation mark.
question one, interested in the webinar.
Yes, and yes, great. Yeah, more people. Yes, it can be
Can it?
used in, I think, 23 languages right now. So that should be fine. Sure. Awesome.
Yeah, I think webinars to learn a little bit more and see real life examples and how O&Ms are incorporating it into their lessons would be really interesting to learn more about.
Nice. And yeah, I mean, eventually at some point it'd be great if we can provide some of those instructions at Leader Docs uh, as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. Marco, do you mind just telling everybody either how to get a hold of you or the NOA website or Biped website, just in case anybody wants to follow up with any questions?
Is Japanese an option? We recently supported Chinese Mandarin. I don't know if Japanese, but I believe Japanese is simpler than Chinese. But I don't know. I have to check on that one. Um, so if you want to learn more, just find us at biped.ai. Oh, ignore the last thing. And my email in case you want to contact me and learn more. Marco at biped.ai. Feel free to reach out if you're interested in the webinars and the loaners. Um, and we're happy to to welcome you to those webinars and explore how we can get a device for your trainees or your clients.
Thank you. And anybody who's watching this maybe as a recording, it's biped.ai is the website, and Marco, MARCO at biped.ai is the email address to contact. And biped is BIPED. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Marco, for your time tonight. We really appreciate it. And anybody listening or watching, feel free to reach out to Marco, but we will look forward to hopefully seeing those webinars coming out soon. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
Enjoy your
much.
night.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you,
Have a nice
Marco.
evening. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.